say, are points of emphasis that you are focusing on going into the start?
Well, in start of camp, our mindset has got to be as if we try to build a foundation of this program, it's always got to be defensively. Just getting back to playing the defense to the level that we know we're capable of. I think we've gotten off to a good start. We've had a good summer with that, as well as a fall. So, really want to emphasize that, and then offensively, we want to emphasize just chemistry, us playing together. Just being connected when we go out there and play. And they're doing that. We're sharing the ball. Guys are moving it. Guys are playing for each other a little more, kind of what we would want to see, from a team.
We talked so much, over the summer and I think early summer as well about, last year there really was no off-season training. Where do you think your team is like this camp compared to last year's camp?
Uh, it's night and day because we had an off season. I just really felt we underserved our freshmen from last year. Fortunate to get to come back and be freshmen again this year if they choose to, which is a good thing for them. And because we all know why. With COVID, we had to make those type of decisions, so we understand it, and I think they were the right decisions. I just know some of the players were, way behind because they didn't get a full summer of conditioning, strength training, skill work, and so this is their first year getting that. I look at a player like Jamil. I look at a player like Isaiah. I'm like, wow, this is their actual first summer. They're like the freshmen that we have coming in as far as what we were doing this off season. So it's been good for though. I think it's been really good for them, really beneficial for us as well.
How does having a veteran team like this change your approach to teaching and coaching?
Well, I think when you have a veteran team, they kind of understand. They've been around me long enough. They understand what our standards are in our program, what our expectations are, and so that really is helpful. I think they do a good job of helping our younger players. Whether it's talking them through drills, talking them through situations on the court. That experience is a great thing to have. So we're excited to have a lot of our guys back. I thought we were playing some of our best basketball at the end of last season. I thought we played some really good basketball at the beginning of last season as well. So there's some things that we can build on with that, with some momentum based on how we're working right now.
Physically, how are Isaiah and Jamil, with I guess not a full season, but kind of a season under their belt, if you want to call that, with an off season? How do they look from when they stepped foot on campus last year to now?
I see improvement, and that's what you want to see in every year that a player plays for. You want to see them getting better, and I see that in both Isaiah and Jamil. Both of those young men are improving, getting more comfortable in our system, and so that's exciting because they worked really hard this off season, and you can see that their work has paid off.
Where's Tony and his progress at when you
Tony's doing fine. Tony's fine. He tweaked his leg a little bit today, but he's fine. He's been practicing. He's been full go, and we're like I said, we're happy to have him back. He adds another dimension to our team with some speed, some quickness, his ability to shoot the basketball. So he's definitely a young man that we're happy to see back in our program.
So defense is still going to be this team's identity, going into the season, I guess.
Definitely. I think it has to be. Look at any team that's had success, in our conference especially, but around the country, they've all, been some of your, best defensive teams. And so that's what we want to be known as. That's been our identity over the years past, and we want to continue to build on that.
What are you seeing from your freshmen?
I think our freshmen have been terrific. I think they're doing a great job of fitting in, first off, and that's what you want to have. You want your freshmen to come in and fit in with a veterans group, and I think they've done a good job of fitting in. And then you want them to expand their game from there. I think they've been very, coachable. I've enjoyed coaching all of them, uh, and I see them continually getting better in the weight room, getting better with their condition, and so that's exciting. And so we just want to see them just fitting in and being ready for their opportunities when they're presented. But I think our freshmen, several of the freshmen that we have, I think can really impact our team, in a positive way. So I'm excited about seeing how we can utilize those guys.
Now that the full non-conference schedule has been announced, I think last time we knew a little bit about Michigan, Oklahoma, and I guess Auburn as well. But now that you have a clear picture of your full schedule, what do you like about your non-conference slate?
I think we have a great non-conference schedule, but that's we always have a great non-conference schedule. That's how we try to do it. Our players enjoy playing against the teams that we have on our schedule, and we want to continue to do that. And I think it's a schedule that'll really prepare us for our conference. I think our conference is going to be. It's always really good. I think it's going to be one of the best years since I've been in the conference, I look at the teams that are returning a number of players, a number of veteran players. Teams are experienced. They have a lot of talent. So I think it's as deep as the league has been since I've been in it. So I'm expecting it to be a great conference.
At the end of the practice, you sent a message to your team about playing all out in practice. Do you look at practice as put in the hard work during practice and the game is fun and comes to you as easy?
Definitely. That's kind of my philosophy. I think practice should be harder than games. If you practice, and you're really intense and you're getting out there for the full time that you're out there, it should be more difficult than the game. So therefore, when you get in the game, as you just mentioned, the game should be, a little easier, fun for you because, your condition is at a level that you can compete for 40 minutes without taking possessions off. You know, uh, your skill set from the standpoint of execution. You've executed so hard and so long in practice that you can execute for the time that you're out there on the floor, whether it's defensively or offensively. So I think definitely practice helps prepare you well for games.
After, it's only been, I guess, two practices, but early on, can you kind of tell how good a team's going to be, or does it really just depend on the flow of the season?
I think it depends. I mean, I know we're returning a number of players, which is exciting because we have some experience returning. But these young people have to, put it all together. I mean, and the only way you'll learn that is when you start, having these exhibition games, closed door scrimmages to kind of see kind of who we have. Practice and games are usually two different things. I mean, you can practice with a lot of intensity, and we're going to do that. But there's something else that happens when these lights come on and you're actually playing against another opponent. And then some players rise in them situations, some players kind of shrink in those situations. So we'll learn a lot about our team as we start to play other, opponents. But that's all part of the process. But I'm excited. I believe in our guys. I think we have a really good group. I think we have a chance to be a very good basketball team. I'm excited to get them out there on the floor and start working towards that.
When you have a veteran team like this, what do you expect from communication between the players and camaraderie? I mean, they know one another pretty well.
Absolutely. Those are things that we want to, take advantage of. The fact that we had so many guys return, even though last year there were a lot of stoppages. I think we had four ourselves. It was a little disjointed, but it allowed our guys to really get to know each other a little bit better. As you mentioned, whether it's defensively or offensively, they have a feel for each other. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and that helps make each other better by doing that. I can make you better, you can make me better because you know what I'm strong at and what I'm not. So I think that's something that we have an advantage, going into the year with that experience, and we're excited to utilize it.
Obviously, I think we're in a much better situation than we were a year ago regarding COVID and vaccine, but we're still, somehow still not out of this thing. It
No.
feels like it's just never ending. But, from an education standpoint, I think we talked a little bit about the vaccine over the summer. But, how is that with the team? And you guys talk about that a lot. What is that like?
Well, I mean, of course, I mean, everyone, is talking about, getting vaccinated, and I won't share, what our team situation is, but I will say the majority of our guys are vaccinated, and but that's a personal choice, and we understand that. So what we want to do is just try to be as careful as we can, abide by the CDC guidelines as best we can, and our guys have done that, and I think with the way things are shaping up, I hear that the numbers are going down, so they're trending, down right now, which is great for us because coming into our season, I hope the numbers continue to trend down, so we can get out there on that floor and not have any stoppages.
We're going to speak to Darius and Darren. What do you want to see each of them do to take their game to another level?
Well, I think they need to continue to have great work ethics, which they both do. They both are really hard workers. They need to continue to make sure that we have good chemistry on our team because they're two experienced guards coming back. They both had good seasons for us, and so them just continue to promote chemistry by the way they go out there and playing, showing chemistry, and then lastly, I think they need to make sure they lead. Darren's a junior this year. Darius a fifth-year senior. These guys need to lead. I mean, they know what the expectations are in our program. Like I said, they know what our standards are, and we expect that from our upperclassmen.
How do you think Darren can improve much better? I mean, we've seen him, when it's kind of reminds me of Matt Williams almost. He can just shoot lights out, but then other games he can kind of be off. But what do you want to see from him this season?
Well, I think the way you become a more consistent scorer, shooter is to mix your game up a little more. And he understands that we went through this last year. As part of his growth is he has to expand his game, and he's doing that. Toward the end of last season, he actually started doing it. You could see signs of him getting to the basket more, making more plays, offensive rebounds, drives. He needs to incorporate that in his game to go along with his ability to shoot the basketball. And that way it lessens your nights that are off. Because some nights the ball just doesn't go in for you, from 25 feet. I don't care how good a shooter you are. But there are other ways you can, to manufacture scoring opportunities. And he's doing a really good job of that this preseason. I can see where he's even improved from last spring, from our discussions and our drill work. He's even improved from that. So I'm excited about this upcoming season for Darren.
Since we last spoke with you, the Knights making the move to the Big 12 in a couple of years. Size up the Big 12 from a basketball perspective, and how you feel the Knights progress into that. What do you need to do to build into that?
Well, it's a great league. It's a great league. I mean, basketball wise, I mean, you have you have blue blood, some story programs in that conference. I mean, if you look at the recent national champions, Final Fours, and you name it, the Big 12 is factored in that in our sport. You look at, I think, over the last 5 years, I think it's been rated 3 or 4 out of the 5 years. It's the number one, basketball conference in the country. So that says a lot about where we're headed. But we're excited for that. I mean, we'll be up to the challenge. I know our players will. I think our community, our fans will be up to that challenge. And we have to continue to recruit at a level that will allow us to be able to compete against those caliber teams. And so it's going to come down to us getting out there and finding players that we know can impact, on that level when that time comes.
Basketball is a little different from football. There's no, group of five, power five like there is in football. Basketball, you have the NCAA tournament, obviously, but how does that move to the Big 12 change recruiting for you?
Well, I mean, when you look at recruiting, we always try to find the best players that we can find. We never looked at whether you're a Power Five school recruiting or you're not. We looked at recruiting for the best talent that we felt that we could bring here to impact what we do as far as helping us be successful as a program. And that won't change. We'll always be trying to find the best talent to help us, win a championship at no matter what league we're in. That's the kind of players that we have to have. I mean, and so that's kind of going to be our approach, is to stay steadfast toward finding the best caliber players. Florida has a great, recruiting base here. Locally, of course, we have great talent, but also throughout our state. And so we know with the talent that are in our state that we can compete against anybody in the country.
So your camp's just underway. So what are your expectations over the next couple of weeks leading to that opener?
To continue to get better. We need to continue to really lock in and focus, because when the season's coming, this quick, we want to make sure that we're implementing all the things we want to have done offensively and defensively. We want to make sure our guys are executing it at a high level. And so every day we're just challenging them to do that. And when they come in here, let's get better. Let's focus on, what we're working on that day, and let's try to improve. And then, I think our teams have always, if you looked at us through the season, we've always gotten better and better as the season has progressed. And I think that's in large part because of their work ethic. They've improved throughout our seasons. And I think this year will be no different. Our guys will work hard this preseason. They'll get better. And as the season progresses, you'll see them continue this and get better and better and gain more and more momentum.
More questions for Coach, guys? Are we all good? Cool. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks, guys. All right. Good to see you. All right, definitely good to see you guys. Here we go again, right?